guys, welcome back to the Grapevine. Today we're going to discuss the effects of social media. We have Susie, Christine, Mary, and myself. We're glad to have you back. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Hi. So, social media, where do we even start?
It can go on and on. It's a big, big topic.
We may not be able to cover all of this in just one episode, but how much time do y'all spend on social media? Should I admit my guilt first? Too much time.
I agree. I feel like even though I work full-time, I still find time to be on social media even when I know I should be doing better things.
Right. I know I was definitely addicted before, and I had to kind of cut it off and take off the app off of my phone, all the apps off my phone. But I've slowly brought them back on, and so far I'm in control, but we know how quickly I can spiral down to the negative.
It's funny because I did the same thing. I got a new phone, and I'm not gonna download Facebook. I refuse. So I don't have Facebook. I had to download WhatsApp so I can stay in touch with
That's a good
you guys.
social media. That's an upgraded text messaging system.
Right.
Yes, but no more Facebook. I mean, I still occasionally, maybe not even once a week, sometimes check it. But then again, I feel like I'm missing out on events and announcements and news almost. You know what I mean? So.
I'm on Facebook. That's pretty much it. I couldn't get into Twitter or Instagram or
that stuff is too complicated.
Snapchat. I'm too old for Snapchat apparently. But no, I'm on Facebook. I actually feel like I'm more of a stalker than an actual poster, productive member of Facebook. I'm just like the creepy lady in the shadows that looks and sees what is everybody else doing, but I hardly ever.
You just admitted it for many of us.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah, I hardly ever actually post.
How bad do y'all think, or how much do y'all think it affects adults, children? You know, how old should kids be to even have like a Facebook? What do y'all think, or Instagram? Just in your opinions.
I think 40. I think they should be 40. 40. I don't
40-year-old kid.
Yeah, 40-year-old kid. Yeah, I really think the longer they wait, the better. And I actually looked up what is the minimum age for Facebook. And the fact is that the minimum age for opening Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, Tumblr, or Snapchat account is you should be 13 and no younger. And if you're using Kik, you actually need a parent's permission to use it if you're under 17. And
I've never heard of that one before.
It's not so related.
There's so much, and it's just the older they are, the more dangerous, and there's a lot more predators on there. And the same thing with YouTube. YouTube is actually older than Kik. YouTube, Vine, and Tinder, and Yik Yak, you need to be older than 17.
So I didn't even, me personally, I've never heard of Kik or Yik Yak till now. So there's a lot.
There's a lot. And
danger.
as a high school servant, it's like you kind of have to be aware because they're on everything. And I downloaded Snapchat. It took up so much memory on my phone that I was just like, okay, I love the high school kids so much, but no.
Yeah.
I need it off my phone.
And it's kind of like a double-edged sword as far as, because I also am with the high school kids as a servant. So Facebook is a great way for me to get in touch with them. We have like a Facebook group for our classes and Messenger, and that's how we, coordinate activities. So it's great in that sense, but, double-edged sword, there's also negative to go along with it. Now, I'm super old school in that I was one of the very first, so back in the day, Facebook was only for college students. I don't know if you guys remember that. So I went to ASU, Arizona State University, and it was like one of the first universities that got on Facebook. So I remember where, forget about 13, you had to be in college and have a university email address to even
I did not know that.
So, so I think that in and of itself kind of speaks volumes to what age that this was focused on. Yeah, it was aimed for, 18 adults and up, really. It's no longer that,
a more mature age, definitely.
Christine actually touched on a point earlier that some people feel that the reason they need Facebook is to stay connected for events and invites. Just 10, 15 years ago, how did we all get informed of birthday parties or weddings or whatever is
Invitation.
What is
A
that?
nice paper invitation.
Does that make sound? You can actually talk in it? What?
You can actually call
hold it
people
to your ear and not look
and
at
say,
it.
hey, I have this gathering on such and such day. We would love to see you guys. And it was more personal.
It really was.
I feel like, for example, our family went on a family cruise ship just a couple of years ago, and because you don't have internet connect, well, you do, but it's like
$1 million.
exactly per minute. It was weird because as we were sitting on the cruise ship, everybody was actually looking up and talking to each other, and I felt like it was back in the 90s again when we were growing up.
Great.
And it was a nice feeling because you had no option but to look up and socialize. There's tons and tons of videos out there. There was one video that was showing how it was called something like Look Up. That was the name of the video, and it was just talking about a guy and a girl that had walked past each other, and it showed them before cell phones, so they interacted and it became a friendship, and the story went there. And then it showed now today everybody's looking down on the phones, the two passed each other, and then that was it. They missed an opportunity for a friendship, relationship. So social media, I feel, has its positives, but lately, me personally, I feel it has more of a negative effect. Takes you away from the interaction with your friends. Some people go on Facebook and see what others are doing and what others don't have, and then they become upset that they weren't invited, or that their kid or their car or whatever isn't as nice as whatever so-and-so's posting. And I could go, like we said in the beginning, this could be a 2-hour episode.
It really would
Yeah.
be. It would
That's
be
my
hours.
opinion, that I think it has more of a negative than a positive effect.
You can make your life look perfect on Facebook,
Oh,
you know?
yes.
Perfect house and husband and kids all, you know, in their neat bows and dresses, and
Everyone's happy.
yeah, everybody's
Everyone's
happy.
a great mom,
Everybody's
and you feel like, wow, I don't even feel comfortable to post a picture because I'm yelling constantly at my kids,
Yeah.
but everyone seems like, oh, my kid is perfect, my kid is great, I never yell at them, we have the perfect family life, and
But the reality is not that at all. You know, it's you pick and choose what you post and what you want the world to see. You know, you can create a completely different, you know, alter ego on social media. It's amazing.
There's actually, this must be happening enough that there were memes circling around that said, I wish your real life was as real as it was on your Facebook life, or something along those lines, or
Yeah.
what you post. And yes, people do, a lot of us have probably been guilty of it, of posting more of the positive than the negative, but it also, opposite of what you said, some people air out their dirty personal laundry on
Yeah.
Facebook statuses that should really stay between you and the person that you're upset with. It's human nature that we all like to be acknowledged. It's just human nature. A lot of people find that Facebook is, you know, how many likes did I get, or how many, you know, likes did this person get, and it's a sense of acknowledgement. And we all like to see that little red notification when we have the app, like, oh, something happened, you know, on Facebook. But we're becoming a society that is more wanting to accept what strangers, not strangers, but Facebook friends tell us, and less about our really close-knit circle of friends. That's, again, what I feel.
I feel like a lot of relationships are open on Facebook, like how a guy and a girl feel about each other, and I feel like this should be personal.
right.
The love your spouse challenge, and
I was
I was challenged on that, and I was like, yeah.
But in my defense, I was a newlywed,
You're a
so I
newlywed.
used the newlywed card on that
Yeah,
one.
that's
But had we probably been married a while, I probably would have said,
Yeah, that's how I felt.
So-
I got that, and I felt really bad. I was like, I don't want my friend to think I'm ignoring her, but I don't feel like going through years of photos on my hard drive to find, oh, there's a picture of me and my husband when all our pictures now are just of the kids. They're not even of us, or like barely us in them. So
Yeah.
it's just like, we have a good marriage, we're good, I promise. I didn't post because I'm lazy, not because I don't have a
too
great
much
spouse, but
going on,
yeah. Like, he's good, he's great. I don't feel like posting it.
And it's
Yeah.
also, to me, a danger in so many ways. Like when you post live that you're about to fly out to some,
Yes.
you
Right.
just expose anybody that you have on Facebook that your house is now empty. For
Right.
example.
Oh, yeah.
That's another danger.
Right.
You know, or when you check in at the vacation spot and people know your address, it's like, oh, well, they're definitely not home. I've just heard about
Yeah.
that. I read about
That's a
about
very
that.
good point. And another point that I've heard before is once you post something, you really cannot unpost it.
Even if you delete
There
it, they have
forever.
it
Yeah,
on
even
the-
if you delete it, it's already, you know, they might have saved it, you know, that picture that you took or the comment, they can snap
Right.
the screen and now they have proof of what you said and what you didn't say and what you posted and, you know, and it's, we have to be careful. And we need to teach our kids that, you know, once you post something, you're telling the whole world how you felt and where you were at and
How you're dressed,
Yeah.
who you're with,
What event you
where,
went to,
yes.
that they didn't get invited to.
Yes.
but you
Yes.
know.
There
And
forever.
like, right, and future employers can see it, even universities can look at it, insurance companies,
Future relationships.
yeah,
Not to judge, but
future
they could say, oh,
spouses, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it has, I know it seems like a lot of what we're talking about is Facebook, but a lot of the apps that you mentioned too, you know, kids, it's from, again, I'm not the parent in the group, but from what parents have told me, their kids can find ways to get on Instagram or get on this, and it's one hashtag away that they could click on to see stuff that's not suitable for children
Yeah.
because of the society that we're in. But another, to me, something separate with social media is people staying in touch. Now, this is the positive part.
Yeah.
Today, we're in a world where it's not just what you said, a phone call. We have phone calls, text, emails, great, but we also have social media. Sometimes having so much availability can backfire because if somebody doesn't reply to you, then it's like, okay, what's their excuse? If they have Facebook, if they have email, if they have text, but then some of them they really can't because they're busy moms that aren't staring at their phone all day.
Right.
So you see how it can kind of backfire too. It's a good and a bad thing. Because you have a lot of ways to communicate with
yes.
people, but then you have a lot of ways to
Yeah,
communicate with people.
I feel like the problem is
You have
now.
no excuse.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, the problem now is for me is that if I have WhatsApp, I have my regular phone messages, I have voicemail, I have Facebook. I have too many things that I need to be replying to,
Right.
and I need to be attending to, and I have a home and I have a job, and I just feel like there's too much. It's too much, you know, going on, and you can't be available for all these apps and at all times. And the problem is now that before, like if somebody calls you and they can't get a hold of you, then the message isn't, you didn't receive the message, you know? But now if somebody sends you a text, you received the message. You're responsible to reply. Because if you don't, then, you know, are you ignoring?
Or did you really not get it yet?
But who doesn't get their messages anymore?
Very rare. The cell phone
rare,
messes
you
it
know?
up. Oh yeah. It's like, hey, thanks for replying. They're like, I never got it. And we'll look at our conversations side by side, and they never got it.
Right.
But I know what you're saying. It's like,
If they're getting through WhatsApp, though, everyone's got it.
yeah, WhatsApp.
But if it's like your
you
text
see-
for your phone, then you can. Sometimes it doesn't go through, and that happens with my husband and I, where we've actually missed connection, and it's caused a huge argument. And I'm like, I didn't get it, but I texted you. I did not get it. Somebody had to pick up the kids, and it wasn't supposed to be me, and I didn't know you were late, so no one got the kids.
And that's the thing, I feel like social media can cause so much misunderstanding because what you text could sound harsh when you're actually joking
Right.
and it's sincere.
You can't read emotion behind a text.
Right.
I've had that happen, and it was just like, no.
And if you put caps on something, then you're yelling at someone, and that might just be that you happen to have the caps.
They haven't invented italics yet. At least not that I know of for texting.
That's true. I haven't seen that.
But yeah, I know what you mean. You could be you cannot get the message, or you can and ignore it. And a lot of people are guilty of the mental response. They see it, but they forget to reply.
Yes, that happens to me all the time.
And I'm kind of a little bit of an iPhone, like really into it, because that's the only phone I've had for years. And I feel like with emails, you're able to scan it back as unread. I wish they gave that option for text, so you can remind yourself, I still see the blue dot, I need to reply.
We need to tell Tim Cook.
I'll message Mark.
Update.
Tim, they can get together.
Hey, Mark.
There's something
Mark,
missing.
that's Facebook. Well, see, social media addicted. Yeah, Tim Cook, you're right. But so we don't mean to, and like you said, you have so many things to reply to, and then you may get interrupted, mommy, and you're mid-reading a text, but you've already read it, and now you'll not remember.
Or like if I'm at work and I got like a 3 or 4 sentence message, and I reply yes.
So, hey,
Back
how are
in the
you?
day, I used to get mad when I got a K as a response. When texting was, you charged for every text. I go, I just paid 10 cents for a letter. You could have at least said, okay, AY. But no, I know what you mean. Now it's like everybody has unlimited, but you're right. Are they going to take that as you being short with them, or are you really taking the courtesy to say, hey, I just acknowledged what you said, but I'm super busy, so sure. Yeah.
Which brings in like for me, the excessive use of the LOL. Like I put that on the end of like every LOL, because I'm like want to make sure that people think that I'm happy, like I'm not upset, I'm not LOL. I'm like, yes, I'm really laughing out loud. No, there's absolutely nothing funny about the text, but
LOL became
LOL just means
Yeah, but if it's really funny, I do all caps LOL.
My phone will do that with a swipe, although my swiping comes out so bad too. Some words I'm like, not dinner, dime, or whatever.
So yeah, it has its pros and cons, but it seems to have more.
Yeah, and well, I mean, like for the pros, I mean, I can see what's going on with friends. I can track friends back all the way from elementary school and keep in touch with them and see what's going on. So that's really neat,
pros,
and that's definitely a pro. And then same with, you know, within the church, we talked about Sunday school and even keeping in touch with people outside of your church. So I remember growing up, the only time you ever got to see other Egyptians outside of your church was convention. Like convention was like the highlight. High school convention, college convention. It was the highlight of the year because that was like 3 days in the whole year. I grew up in Arizona. I mean, we would book our tickets months in advance to fly down to Florida or fly down to Texas to see all the other Egyptians. Nowadays, you feel like you're in touch with them every single day because they're on social media and they know exactly everything that's going on with this person and that person. So it's good, but at the same time, you know, I'm on the committee for college convention now, and it's like pulling teeth to get the youth to come because they see each other all the time online. So they don't need convention.
Facebook was
to get
invented
together
when I was because they're all on Facebook. Facebook was invented when I was in college, so it was, you know, I didn't have it in my high school year. So like you said, didn't keep in touch. But I can tell you that in my 10-year high school reunion, I just showed my age, I already knew who was married and who had kids and how their kids looked because, like you said, back to elementary days. I grew up in a small Texas town. We had one high school. So we all knew everybody. Right. And I had a handful of friends from that small town. And when I went to my high school reunion, it wasn't as big of a wow factor because I knew exactly how everybody looked, who the kids, where they worked. I knew everything about them because it was on social media. Right. So it did kind of take the excitement, kind of relating to what you said of not seeing anybody all year, and then you see them, for us not seeing them for 10 years, except I did.
Right.
So, and the way part of me was like, I wish I didn't go on Facebook till after my 10-year reunion, but I did take a hiatus for like a year, and I couldn't believe how much, like, I was still in the loop. I didn't feel like I missed out as much and whatnot, and some people have told me they're, temporarily deactivating it just to take a break from it, or just, and they're not as urgent.
Yeah,
It
I
feels good.
feel like I'm not
I'm almost there.
anymore. And,
Yeah.
My favorite is the like Palm Sunday. Like my newsfeed blows up with Holy Week. I'll see you guys in a week. Going on Facebook.
They gave it up for the whole week. Yeah, they gave up Facebook for Lent.
Right,
Yeah,
and then it
that's
goes
true.
quiet, and then
Back
Easter
on
comes,
Easter,
and it's like
you see all the
Christmas in the
chocolate.
studio.
That's actually one of the reasons too why I wanted to get off Facebook. Every time it's the holidays, Merry Christmas, I'm like, everyone says it. That's all you see for like
Yeah,
hours
Merry
and hours.
Christmas,
I'm like,
Merry
boring. And not that Christmas is boring, but everybody's boring. So I was like, I really have to
Or
get off
after
it.
any major thing happened, like
Yes.
last night was the
Presidential
most watched debate.
yeah.
I was like, we watched it, but then we only could handle a couple, maybe 30 minutes of it, just because we said, you know what? Social media is going to tell us what were the highlights of it.
Exactly.
Plus, it just wasn't personally as entertaining or as informative for me, but I know this is not about politics, but
I'm
my point
all
is.
about the presidential
Yeah,
debates. I was
that's
like
another
glued.
episode.
I was glued to my TV.
I wanted to really listen to, but my point was, Facebook, like you said, it's going to tell you any major event you're going to
Yeah.
see.
Is it gonna tell you the opinion of other people?
Yes.
Or whereas if you would have just watched it by yourself, you would have formed your own opinions, and you wouldn't be influenced by social media.
The people or the news outlets.
Right.
That's a good point. I think I was just going to go to see what the news outlets had to say of, okay, here's where the two agreed or the two disagreed. But nowadays, even the news outlets are abusing social media.
Yeah.
Definitely.
With
And
Twitter
biased.
Because I do have Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And I'm on Facebook more, but I do use Twitter to get the quick news. And sometimes I feel like, why even have Facebook? Because Twitter gives you they still have the 140 character limit. So it's just
like a small brother.
but it's still I'm doing this all day. They actually have I believe some doctors said there's something for the thumb motion. There's not, it's crazy.
Like carpal tunnel, but like a new disorder.
No longer for typing, but for swiping or for scrolling or something with your hand. I had never heard that.
That's
That's
a
good to
joke.
know. Another reason to quit.
Yeah.
My
Maybe
thing
the
is
next time
definitely
we
my
see it.
concern is for the youth, especially because I also read and I wrote it down that the Children's E-Safety Commissioner and the Australian Federal Police have recently revealed that millions of photos posted on social media have later been found on websites sharing child exploitation material. And even though those images are innocent and naive, but they can be sexualized or photoshopped to indulge these predators. So we really have to be concerned about the youth posting pictures. And all they're doing is taking selfies of each other, of themselves, and then passing it to each other. And they're not really good at making their Facebook account secure or private so that it's only a few people can see the picture. So
Well, and even as moms, like I'm guilty of the picture of both my kids naked in the bathtub when they're like 1 year old. I've never posted on Facebook because of that, but I have it, on my phone just for me and my family to see, just because it's cute. And as moms, we don't think about that, but I see moms posting pictures of their kids in a diaper and whatnot, just completely out of innocence. And you don't know once it's out there. You don't know.
That's
where
what
it's
you were
gonna go.
saying earlier. Once it's out there, it's going to be traced. Selfies is another disaster.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
it really is.
I just gave my opinion.
I'm never on any of our pictures. It's just the kids or the kids with dad, or like it's barely me, and I'm like, I don't really care. Nobody needs to see our gray hairs or anything. So
Yeah. So do we have? What do y'all think is maybe one piece of advice we can give maybe to a young adult watching this, or from our experiences of social media? Do you want to start?
I think wait as long as you can. I think wait until you're 18. If it started for 18-year-olds or people in college, there's a reason for why it started for just the college and universities around the country and around the world eventually.
My advice is try to pace yourself and try to, you know, put a certain limit. Because if you just leave yourself to social media and all the phone apps, it's just so easy to get distracted and not get essential things done in your life and pay attention to important people in your life at home in front of you.
I would say do not share your whole life on Facebook or on any social media. Like, things you need to keep private. Like, the whole world doesn't need to know how much you love your husband, how much you love, you know, your parents or whoever. Of course, post now and then is totally fine, but there's some people you literally know every second of the day how they're spending every second of the day on Facebook. So yes, share major events, but you don't need to live your life on Facebook and share your life with the whole world.
Right, very nice. My advice would probably be use your time wisely if you do have social media, because like they mentioned earlier, you only have a certain amount of time you get with precious ones. You don't want to look back and say, I wasted my time on my phone when I could have spent it quality time, exactly what Christine said.
We're going to take you over to the sports section now, where they're going to give you a summary of what's going on in today's sports.
Hi, and thank you back at the studio. I just wanted to say you guys are very lucky to be in a studio with AC and a roof above your head. You guys are relaxed on your chairs, and we're out here in nature. We're dealing with the hot sun, the windy climate. You know, we never know what to expect out here, but we're doing our jobs.
It's the bipolar Florida weather. It was
Right?
just raining about 10 minutes ago. Now it's really hot, and the wind is blowing really strong.
Right? It's crazy.
What can we say?
But I just want to say thank you and welcome back to another section of sports. I'm here with Mina Hakim. My name is George Yacoub. But Mina, what'd you think about last night's and
There was a great couple games going on, with the Magic coming up with the victory against the San Antonio Spurs in their hometown, in the San Antonio Spurs hometown, which is crazy because San Antonio Spurs is the second best team in the Western Conference.
And we saw some leading scorers of Ibaka with 18 points.
Yeah.
We were just speaking about how Victor Oladipo, we all missed him on the court with the Magic in the Magic uniform, and I actually had some concern about that. But then again, Mina was like, no, we got a great pickup, and I was like, I don't know. And I'm proud to say I was proven wrong yesterday with Ibaka's great score and great lead to the game.
Yeah, they came up with a huge victory. All the best records yesterday, you could say, lost to the lower record seeds in the NBA. We also had a crazy game with the Clippers and Brooklyn Nets, went into double overtime with the ejection of Doc Rivers.
Did you see how he went off yesterday?
Yeah, it looked like he literally wanted to go tackle that referee, but what can he do?
It looked like he had some point of view other than the referee, but it's okay. You have to hold your temper. That's what the NBA is all about. There's some bad calls, there's some good calls. What can we say? Yeah. But we see that Kilpatrick had a great career high record of 31 points, of his career high 38 points, and it was on the third quarter. But then we go on and see someone like the Pistons and the Hornets, you know what I mean, of 112 to 89. How crazy is that?
That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
That's a huge, it's a huge blow, you could say.
I know, right? I never think so.
Yeah.
But
and then we have tonight a great couple games going on with on TV today. Lakers Bulls. That's a huge game. I think the Lakers maybe could pull off a victory, but we don't know. We'd have to wait and see.
Celtics Pistons game though too.
Oh, that one's a good one too.
Right?
Yep.
It was. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah.
You know,
and we also have we had the Heat and Nuggets. The Heat are not looking too sharp today.
No, they are not.
In South Florida, with the loss of their leading scorer, Dwayne Wade, and of course, a couple years ago with the loss of LeBron James.
How'd you think
the
about
best player, one of the best players in the NBA?
What'd you think about Dwayne Wade leading the Heat?
Honestly, I would have, if I was in his position, I would have left too, because they didn't give him a contract that he wanted.
No.
They didn't respect what he did for them for 13 years.
He was loyal for 13 years.
13 years, and you can't give the man a max contract. Come on,
I'm saying, like,
And he went to his hometown,
Yeah,
Chicago, where
Chicago.
he dreamed of playing.
But,
and
you know,
the
I feel like-
greatest of all time has played there, Michael
I
Jordan.
feel like he was also hoping to play with great players.
Better
also.
team
You know
all
what I mean?
around,
He
yeah.
wants to go for that ring again. You know, he doesn't want to rely on LeBron, but he had to do it on him by himself one year. So I'm saying, like, maybe, yeah, he is getting old, but he is a veteran. He is one of the best players, I think, in the NBA.
Yep.
But
And as for tomorrow, it's a great Thursday night. There's going to be great games on TNT with, first off, with the Clippers and Cavaliers. And you know how that's going to go down.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be right down to the wire. And then
mean-
you have the Rockets and Warriors, which hopefully the Warriors will get to their 13th straight win.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll have to wait and see. But
let's
James
just-
Harden is doing
let's
great,
just
putting up great
James-
numbers.
You know, I mean, let's just say James Harden, I hope he just keeps
Triple-double
going.
machine.
I know, I mean, I just hope he keeps going on with that kind of stuff. You know, but we go on to see the Spanish Premier League. What do you think of what's going on right now with, you know, Barcelona, Real, the Clásico coming up? Everyone excited about that? You know, I bet all of you are out there waiting and putting it on your calendar to watch that great game. The Clásico is one of the best games in the Spanish Premier.
Barca is showing up this year.
Yeah,
This year. They're
they
doing
have
really
been-
well, but you know they have
know,
great players, so what can you say?
but I know they haven't lost a game yet, but they've been tying, you know, which is kind of a surprise because they've been tying the teams they should be demolishing out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But as for those games, we'll just have to wait and see how
Yes.
everything goes down. But the games are NBA games are, you know,
Kicking off.
getting
Yeah.
better. You know, it's getting close, maybe in a couple of weeks to the middle of the season. So
We'll just hope and
yeah.
see. But thank you for keeping up with us, and we want to see you again on sports.
Thank you guys.
Hey guys, welcome back. Man, a lot going on in the sports section. Well, thank you again for joining us for today's episode. Until next time.